What's up, y'all? Welcome back for another episode of CTYD's Creative Space. I'm your host, CTYD Pat, and I'm here with Jay Spencer.
Hi.
So y'all know how it goes. I let my guests introduce themselves, so go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
I'm Jay Spencer, also known as Harls or Harley Shakur. I've been through a few name changes the past few months. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Aesthetic. Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll start off first. You said you've been through a couple of name changes. What's prompted those name changes?
Well, my name is Jasmine, but I went with Jay because that's what almost everybody calls me. And then I went with Harley Shakur. I actually got that idea from my cousin Cameron, because I'm so into Harley Quinn. And I like everybody likes Tupac.
Yeah.
So my cousin, he kind of just like put them together because like he can point out the like all my favorite celebrities, like he can point them out in me, and so he kind of just like came up with that name like Harley Shakur, and then I don't know, I was just kind of going through like a midlife crisis, and I was like, I gotta change my name, so I changed it to Harls because I mean it's short and simple, like it's just there, it rolls off the tongue very easy, so Harls is what we sticking with. If I could change my name to that, I would. I would definitely do that.
So tell the audience a little bit about what all you do.
So I am a singer / songwriter / poet. I draw. I do digital art. And I actually just started making like resin products. I didn't bring any with me. Dang, I could have showed them off. But yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I used to dance, but I don't anymore because kids.
Yeah, they'll do that to you.
Having kids.
Yeah, definitely do that to you.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a one-trick pony. So, I try to expand my abilities. So, I used to just be into singing, and I picked up like drawing as like kind of like a side thing, but then I really got into drawing. And so now I kind of sing on the side, like I just do singing as like the side thing. And with the resin art, I just started making that because like I see all the resin videos on TikTok, and I'm like, I think I can do that.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I just started doing it, and the ones I did some with my little sister. They're like daggers. They're pretty nice size daggers. And then I made some mason jars. They look amazing. So yeah, I got that going for myself.
Okay, so why do you think it is that you said that you used to sing a lot, and then art was kind of the side thing, and now art's taking over as more so the dominant thing? Why do you think that is?
So when I first started, I started singing when I was in church, children's choir. And then when I got into like middle school, I used to do like the talent shows and like the little fundraisers that they would have for things. And I would kind of perform here and there. But then when I got into high school, I really started, trying to like write my own music. And, I went to Washington and they did the open mic nights.
Yeah.
And I never would really do them, but people would tell me, you need to start doing it. So I would start doing it. And then it just became like, first nature, like everywhere I would just start singing, doing little videos here and there to post on the internet and stuff like that. And then, I would kind of draw on the side because I went to Paseo before I went to Washington. And I took art there. And so, like, they kind of made us get into drawing. And, like, I could do a little, I could do a little bit of drawing, but then after high school, I stopped writing music and then I started drawing more, and then I just excelled at drawing, and I just kind of put singing on the back burner because it wasn't really an attention grabber for me with other people. Like, people would be like, oh, you can sing, but like when I would draw, they'd be like, that's it right there. That's what it is right there. So Yeah, I kind of just got more into drawing and put singing on the back burner for
Okay.
now.
Okay.
For now.
It's funny you say that. So you said you went to Paseo before
Yeah.
going to I'm sorry. You said you went to,
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
So you from both sides of the city.
Yeah, I am. So I prefer this side, but my mom, prefers the Missouri side. So I mean, and I'm not knocking the Missouri side because I learned a lot from being over there as far as like pouring into like my art and keeping up with my talents and stuff like that. Like Paseo, they definitely played a big part in giving me that push into bringing out my inner artist. And when I came over here, it kind of just like blew up and like took over my life. So, yeah.
So what has a major influence on your art life?
My daughter, most definitely. She draws on everything. And she'll draw on some stuff and she'll like, look. And then like something she'll draw will like inspire me to draw something else. And like she likes to watch things with me, like Steven Universe and like Naruto and stuff like that. And she's really into Steven Universe.
My daughter too.
Oh man.
Yeah, she loves Steven Universe. It's a good show.
And it is a really good show.
Good show.
And she likes the diamonds, and I think pink diamond is her favorite. So I just recently made a picture, like I made myself into a diamond, and then like me with all the other diamonds, and she just like lost it. She's like, you're a pink diamond sister. So she definitely gives me that energy and that inspiration to draw. Even she gives me inspiration to like write songs and stuff like that. But the scenery around me really gives me inspiration. Like in other artists, I'll see something like they make and I'm like, I want to do stuff like that, but like put my own stuff to it. So like when people ask me to like do stuff for them or like draw stuff for them, like I'll draw and they're like, yeah, you can do whatever. And then so like I put my spin on it and it just like goes from there. It's like, yeah, it spirals in a good way.
Okay, so what are your favorite things, that you like to depict with your art?
I try to mix like what's the word I'm thinking of? My fantasy self with my real self.
Mm-hmm.
So like I will draw myself in like cartoon form or like anime form, but I'll still like put some realness to it. Like I'm not really good at like realistic art like some people are, where they can make it look like a photo, but like I can kind of do a little bit to where it makes it look like a little bit real. So I like to mix like my fantasy my fantasy self with my real self. And I realize I put my emotion into my drawings. So like I'll use like if I do a background for it, like I'll use what the emotion I'm feeling that day. So like into the colors and like the patterns or whatever, like I'll use that with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite colors that you like to use?
Red and black.
Red and black.
Red and black. Those are my go-to colors. It's in my hair. But if I don't use red and black, I'll try to use like pinks and purples and stuff like happy colors to try to because I know I can make a lot of like sad art and stuff like that, but I try to use a lot of happy colors to like be that pick me up for when people see my art and they're not like, oh, that's sad, she always makes sad stuff. So I just try to use a lot of bright and happy colors or like neutral colors sometimes to mix it up a little bit.
So what have been some of the hardships you faced when it comes to creating, whether it be through your art, your music, or all the other stuff that you do?
With art, so I'll have a picture like in my head of what I want to draw, and then like when I go to draw it, I'm just like, I draw a blank, and so like I kind of just scrap that idea and like start a whole new idea because I forgot the idea that I had. And with music, writer's block is real.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh
It's
my
terrible.
goodness, writer's block is real. Just this morning, I had in my notes on my phone, I have like so many like written songs that I just haven't like tried to record or whatever. And like this morning, I was trying to like start one, and I just couldn't. I couldn't focus on it because, like it wasn't sounding right, and like the setting I was in, it just wasn't right. And so, if I'm not like if it doesn't feel right to me, I can't do it. Like I have to be a certain way when I draw. I have to feel a certain way, like when I sing. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel you got to really be in the moment to create.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit down, not be in that positive headspace and say, hey, I'm going to make, this, or I'm going to make that, or I'm going to write this or write that.
Right.
It really does take you being in the right, mood to create. Because if you're not in the right mood, you're not going to make something that you're going to be proud of.
Right.
So, and if you're not going to be proud of, the cycle just continues.
Yeah.
So
you got to actually like be there in the moment in order for it to be there with you. Yeah.
I definitely feel that. I definitely understand that. Does anime, that plays a big part in your art as well, doesn't it?
It does. So, this shirt actually, Wava made it. Hit her up.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
So this one, like I was telling you earlier, my daughter, she really likes Naruto, and I threw her a Naruto themed birthday party, and I like to tell people like I'm her Jiraiya sensei, and she's Naruto. But yeah, it really does. I've started trying to base my art around anime more because I want to do my own anime, and so I'm trying to perfect my craft so it doesn't look bad, because when I do like art, I want it to be like perfect. Like it has to be perfect. Like if something's like out of line or doesn't look right, like I'll scrap the whole thing and start over, because it has to be like dead set perfect. So like when people see it, they're like, that's that shit right. Like I like that. I need that in my life. So yeah, anime does play a big part. I remember in high school, like all the anime kids, like they would just like draw anime like every class.
Yeah.
I would just watch them because like they could do it so flawlessly. And like it takes me a while. Like I still use like stencils with my art because like I'm not there with like the freehand drawing yet. So like I still use the stencils, but I'll make the stencil like my own. Yeah. Like after I use the stencil, I'll turn it into my own thing. And so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, you're getting there.
It's a work in progress.
I mean, as long as you keep on practicing with it, of course you're going to get it soon. So
True. Yeah.
I know you shouted out Wava earlier, but are there any? She's a great artist.
Love her.
Hopefully, y'all get to see her on the show pretty soon. We still waiting on that.
Yeah.
But are there any other artists in the city that you look up to, or like not even look up to, just like have a? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I guess that you were inspired by.
I really like Wava. Yeah, she's one. My baby sister, actually, she's a really, really good artist. Like she does the freehand drawing, and like she is just great. And like she'll tell you in a heartbeat, like I inspired her to do art, but when I see her art, it makes me want to do more art, because it's just like, like when you put two mirrors in front of each other, and it's just like that constant, like, that's what it's like between me and her. Cause like she'll create and then I'm like, I'm gonna create. And it's just like back and forth like that. I know who else does really good? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Cause I don't really follow many like artists, on like social media or in real life like that. I follow mostly like singers and stuff, rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if we're not talking about like homegrown, Chris Brown. That man's art. Like every time I see the inside of his house on like Instagram and stuff like that, I get jealous. I'm like, I want that. I want to be able to do that with my house. Just like throw up some art whenever I feel like it. Who else? I think
It's almost crazy how he's talented in both those areas.
Is,
You know,
like, dude is like a quadruple threat. Like, he acts, he sing, he rap, he
dances,
he
like,
do art. Like, he's just there. Like, that's the kind of artist. That's the kind of artist that I aspire to be. You know, like, not dead set on one thing. You know, like, nothing against, you know, all the artists who are like just that type of artist, but like, it's amazing because he can express himself through dance, through art, through music, you know, through acting and stuff like that. And so he's really honestly like a big, big, big inspiration for me, and somebody that I aspire to be like.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
He's a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he is the jack of all trades. That man is not from Earth. He's not.
Coming up, we're gonna definitely show y'all some of her work, so y'all stay put. All right, y'all, welcome back. We're here with Jay Spencer. She's gonna show us some of her wonderful art.
Okay. So I'll show you the very first one that I did on Procreate. This one right here. This was the very first one that I did. It was of my cousin. It's of my cousin, Kiana. So thank you, girl, for letting me experiment on you. Let's see. This one was for like Halloween time. This is of a very, very good friend of mine.
See, it's funny because I thought that was a Drake.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, it's Doc. He's a really good. He's a musician too.
He's a musician.
Yes, he played drums. He be singing too. He really good. This one, I turned my cousin into the Joker. This is one of my favorites. It took me, I think, a full day to work on this one right here.
What software did you say you was using again?
I use Procreate.
Procreate?
Mm-hmm. And like Procreate, they have websites where you can like find different brushes for like different textures and stuff like that. It's really cool. This one, scroll please. Thanks. You know, I had to draw the queen of rap.
Is that Nicki Minaj?
Is. Yes, I love her. This one is my favorite. You might have seen this one somewhere.
Y'all seen that before.
Yeah. This one is my favorite. It took me, I think, a few days to do because, like I was telling Pat, I am very specific when it comes to art. And if it's not right, I'm gonna scrap it and start over.
Hey, you got to. Let's
see, let's do a more recent one. This one, if you watch Steven Universe, you know these people. This is the one I was telling you about. I turned myself into Diamond over there for my daughter because she's just a Steven Universe
fanatic.
I'll do one more. I'll do the one I did a Lil Nas X. Will it turn? I'll do it this way. I did this one. This one right here of Lil Nas because he just put out his song "Call Me by Your Name." People didn't like it, but I loved it. So
there was a lot of controversy behind that one.
It was.
There was a lot of controversy behind that one.
It was. And I think it was wild because that type of self-expression, I want to get to that level. Mm-hmm. You know, because if you follow him on Twitter, you know he is unbothered.
Yeah, he don't care.
He do not care. So I really like the video. Yeah.
How I feel about it is like, you know, I let people do what they do. I stay in my own lane. Right. I don't understand why people can't do the same.
Right.
You know, you should be able to. It's not really affecting you, so you know why be so bothered by it.
Right. I like to tell people if it's not putting money in your pocket, then.
Or taking money out.
Yeah, if it's not affecting you and your money, then just let it be. Like
exactly.
And yeah, people were like, well, kids see this. That's not his fault.
Kids see everything.
Kids see everything.
That's
but
the
you
case.
Also got to monitor what your child is seeing because the internet is a crazy place.
Yeah, it really is.
The internet is definitely a crazy place.
But yeah, I always thought, being able to draw on pen and like with pen and pad, that's one thing, but being able to draw on a tablet, that's y'all at a whole nother level.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It gets frustrating sometimes because, you'll be drawing. I have to rest my hand on like what I'm drawing on, and like the screen will move and like it'll just mess up, and I'm just like, now I gotta start over.
Yeah, back when I used to draw, when I used to do shading and stuff like that, I just have pencil ink all over my arm.
It's a mess, messy.
Yeah, it is a mess. How would you explain, like, not even explain, hold on. How would you describe the culture when it comes to Kansas City as far as creatives go?
I think Kansas City is full of creatives. Like, we're overflowing with creatives, but because of the Kansas versus Missouri thing that people like to have, it ruins a lot.
So much, so many opportunities.
It does ruin so many opportunities. Like, you can, mention two, artists from, either sides of the river, and people be like, ugh, we don't do Missouri, we don't do Kansas. Like, that, I think that's part of the problem when it comes to our creative community, because people don't like to put their differences aside and branch together. I feel like if we all just like sat down with each other, and tried to come together artistically, we could be like California.
Oh, most
and
definitely.
We can be those type of places where people be like, man, I want to move to Kansas City so I can get a new start. They art scene is what it is, and I need that in my life. I know I have a bunch of friends and associates from both sides of the water who are very, very talented, but I don't know. I don't think they're open to working, with people from.
It really doesn't make any kind of sense.
Right.
Like, when you think about it, like, oh, he from Missouri, I'm not finna mess with him.
Right.
Because he from Missouri. Or, oh, they from Kansas, I'm not finna go, work with them on this project. They from Kansas. Right. Like, it don't really make any type of sense. But,
it don't.
And it's been going on for years. But, I mean, in the same sense, I also say, in the recent years, I feel like more and more people on both sides are starting to collab with each other.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. But yeah, it's still very prominent. Like, you still see the hate on each side.
Yeah.
It's from both sides.
It's crazy. Because like I was saying, I know so many people from both sides of the water who are just immaculate at what they do.
Yeah.
They're like top tier. It's great. It's crazy how good they are. Very, very good. They're very, very good. Like, I have a friend, his name is Taj. He can sing. That boy can sing. I got a few friends, Tone and Vivica, they can sing. I know they're gonna watch this too, so period. On the spot. But yeah, I just want to have that day where both sides of the water can come together and we can just create without problem.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, some people, they like to make a problem out of nothing. And then it just causes more division between the two sides. So that's my hope. Whenever
we could come together and really identify as one city.
Yeah.
Even though we're in two separate states, if we could identify as one city, it could be amazing. Like for instance, First Fridays. Everybody on both sides goes to First Fridays.
I've been to First Fridays one time.
And it's a fun experience though. It's very, jumping.
Very fun experience.
Everybody there.
Yeah, it's like one of those, block parties back in the day.
Yeah.
Where it's an experience that I feel like everybody should have.
Exactly. For the most part, it's no problems. Sometimes there be some problems, but for the most part, it's just no problems.
Yeah.
All fun. Like, if we could have, an experience like that all the time in Kansas City, like where people are, comfortable coming on either side and be like, yo, I'm finna go to the Kansas side. I'm finna go to the Missouri side.
Right.
I'm finna go check this out over there, check this out over there. Like,
right.
I feel like we have endless possibilities on what we can do, you know, not only as creators, but as a whole city.
Yeah, we do. We do. And I feel like that's something that we should all start to work on, like as far as networking goes, you know, so we can just try to get that together, you know, and like I feel like we should start doing like, you know, like mass, like home concerts and stuff, like in parks or something like that, you know, to just like our own little Coachella, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, so we can eventually, you know, beat out Coachella. And, you know, everybody's like, yeah, I'm finna go to Kansas for Canchella or something like that. We gonna work on that. We gonna work on it. But I feel like that should be a goal that we're all geared towards, because I mean, it'll be great to see everybody together.
Yeah.
And, you know, cooperating with each other, creating with each other, you know, something like that.
Nah, I couldn't agree with you more, honestly. But moving on from there, because we could talk about that all day.
We really could.
Literally talk about that all day.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself within the next couple of years? You know, where do you see yourself going with your talents?
So I will be, we gotta.
I like that.
Put it out there. I will be successful with my art. I will be successful with my music. Hopefully my daughter will pick up what I put down so she can, continue that. I see myself being that mentor for younger artists, whether it be like singing, dancing or stuff like that. Like I want to be that mentor and that safe place for people, when they feel like they don't have anybody to pour into them. I want to be that person, I want my house to be that house that's like, oh, you need to use a room to create? Go ahead. Come over. That's where I see myself in the next couple of years. That, that mentor and that safe space for people like us, like me, who didn't really have people to pour into their art. Yeah. I want to be able to pour into other people.
That's what it's all about, doing what we can do now for the generations to come.
Yeah.
We got to set the foundation, for our kids and their kids.
Yeah.
And even their kids,
Yeah.
It's about, they say generational wealth,
Yes.
It's about building that generational wealth.
Yes.
That's all life is really about.
Yeah.
That's all life is really about.
Building for the next. So, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
I'm so excited about where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited
we appreciate
about where this is going. I told my entire family, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be on the podcast. Or not the podcast.
It's a podcast.
Oh.
You call it that.
Yeah. I was hyped. They were like, that's today, right? And I'm like, yes, it is today. So.
So hopefully when they see this, they also enjoy it.
Yes, I hope.
But like I said, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for watching another episode of CTYD's The Creative Space. This has been Jay Spencer with CTYD Pat, and like always, we out.